Well, hello folks, from the flight deck once again. The long dry spell of winter not flying seems to have broken, at least for a little while, and I am very much enjoying a week where I got to fly, well, quite a bit. Earlier in the week, I flew to Florida, where I spent about somewhere north of 6 hours sitting in a simulator, practicing things that you cannot do as safely in a real airplane. Engine failures, fires in flight, failures of like the flaps to deploy, things like that. Doing things that just keep me sharp, keep me more safe flying my family, which is what matters most to me. After we got done that, flew home. Had a problem with the airplane. The autopilot went out on the way down, which meant I got to hand fly. Some airplanes are easier to hand fly than others. The Baron is a very smooth airplane, and because it's so smooth, it's also it's not as noticeable if you're off pitch a little bit or off roll just a little bit and find yourself in a climb, descent, or a turn. Until you look back up at the instruments and notice, oh, I need to make a correction. So, it's part of what flying's all about. But in other airplanes, it doesn't sneak up on you quite as easily as it seems to in the Baron. So I'm happy to say that the autopilot is now fixed, and it's back to being more relaxing to fly. Yesterday, I flew over to West Tennessee to visit some dear friends of mine who I had the privilege of helping purchase their first airplane. It's a plane that is, I believe, going to serve them very well for a number of years. They'll learn to fly in it, and once they learn to fly, get their license, they'll start using it to get around, visit us, visit other family for them, and go to the beach and just take trips using the airplane for what airplanes are made for. So that is a very exciting experience. It's also the first time I've flown a Cessna 182 in about 20 years. And what they say about riding a bicycle and how you never forget, well, it's kind of like that. There's a little rusty jumping into it. I had to engage the brain a little bit more than normal, but nothing bad happened. The plane did well. My landings were not embarrassing, and when you're a pilot, that seems to be the biggest thing. Try not to embarrass yourself. 125.85, 2 on Mike. Memphis Center, Baron 4621 Mike, 13,000. 30512 on Mike. Alright, had to talk to the air traffic controller briefly there, and I'm back with you. Anyway, buying an airplane is a decision we like to think is a rational decision, but it's not. It's an emotional decision where we say, well, I very much want to fly because I love flying, and then we find ways to justify it. Kind of like religion, but more fun. So, I appreciated a video that Trent Palmer did the other day where he was responding to the question of how much does it cost to have an airplane, and he said, "Oh, I want to preface this video." I'm very much paraphrasing, but he said basically, "I want to preface this video by saying I didn't really want to make this video because I don't really want to know how much I'm spending," and I respect that. That's kind of my take on airplanes. If I look at the numbers, I can very easily justify walking away and never flying again, if the numbers are all that matter. But, you might say that about kids too. The reality is, the numbers only tell a part of the story. I fly, number one, because I love to fly. Number two, because I like to go places fast. And, well, that's most of it. 3, it's a rush. There you go. That kind of goes with 1. Anyway, if you're interested in getting into flying, I always love answering questions and trying to convince you that it's the best thing in the world. If it is for you, it is not for everybody. If you do not have the money to do it right, if you do not have the time to do it right, you should not do it, because you can kill yourself pretty easily if your head is not where it needs to be. So, I've posted many times about how safety is important in flying, and as I try to make clear here, I take that very seriously. If, like I say, if I can help you make a decision for or against flying, I hope it's for, because we need a lot more pilots in aviation than we have currently. Then catch up with me. All right. Y'all have a great day. I'll close with a view out the window. This is West Tennessee.